Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. Today, we are going to be making a fantastic mushroom ragout. You're not going to want to miss this one. All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us today on It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. If this is your first time joining us, or you just want to learn how to cook fantastic restaurant-style food, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there, and then make sure you hit that bell to be notified every time we upload new content. All right, so we're going to start making our mushroom ragout, but first of all, we have to go into the kitchen and see what our ingredients are. So let's head in and check out what those are. We actually have, of course, we do have our mushrooms. We have a mushroom blend of cremini, shiitake, and yellow oysters. I also have some white button and baby bell. I've got some fresh garlic, fresh rosemary, a shallot, an onion, some chicken stock, olive oil, butter, Worcestershire sauce, and a little dry marsala to finish it off. So we're going to start doing our prep, and then we're going to make this wonderful ragout. All right, I've got some of the mushrooms in our sieve here, but I'm going to cut these baby bells and these whites, and I'm going to throw them back in here, and we're going to make sure we wipe them. And we're going to make sure we rinse them off real good. Nothing worse than trying to cut a wet mushroom. All right, I'm going to take baby bells first. I'm just going to throw them right in that colander that we're going to wash these mushrooms off. And the white buttons. Now I want to cut the onions and the scallions into a julienne slice, because if we put them into a small dice or a brunoise or a mince and add it into our mushroom ragout, you're not going to be able to see it or feel it or anything in there. But you'll see as we're cooking this later, if we have a big cut like a julienne in there, it's going to infuse into there, and it's going to look really nice as the mushrooms cook. And then last, we're just going to kind of mince this up though, because all we're doing is adding and infusing some flavor with these garlic cloves. All right, let us head over to the frying pan and start cooking. On about a medium-high heat, 4 tablespoons of butter, and enough olive oil to coat the bottom of our pan. The reason I'm using both these fats is just to add 2 different flavor profiles in the cooking process. All right, now that we've got our butter melted most of the way, I'm going to go ahead and add our aromatics. We're just going to basically sweat these aromatics to release their moisture before we add the mushrooms. We're not going to add any other flavor to it right now. Okay, now that we have gotten the onions are getting a bit translucent, we want to go ahead and add our mushrooms that I did wash. They have a little shine to them now because they're actually clean. Remember, there might be a little water in there still, so be careful. We just have a medium heat, and we're just going to let these onions and these mushrooms cook very slowly. We want to sweat the mushrooms as well. I'm going to leave a link in the description box and a card right about here to a show that I did on what sweating vegetables does and what it's about and what exactly it is. So look for that too. It's a tutorial I did for my job, and then I made it into a YouTube cooking tutorial as well. So we're just going to let these sweat down, let this low heat do its job, and we'll be right back. Now, in case you didn't know, ragout and ragout are 2 different things. One is spelled R-A-G-U, and the other one is spelled R-A-G-O-U-T. What we are making today is an R-A-G-O-U-T ragout, which differs from the R-A-G-U, which is a classification of pasta dishes that have ground or minced meat and vegetables and tomatoes in it, mostly Italian dishes. Bolognese would fall into that umbrella of ragouts. Ragout, like we're doing on the other hand, is a French-style dish made of stewed meat, fish, or vegetables, and in our case, just doing the vegetables with the mushrooms. And it can be served on top of things like crusty bread, polenta, pasta, or it can just be eaten by itself. And now at this point, I'm just going to create a little cavern right in the middle there. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of ketchup in here, sorry. What this does is adds a little bit of sugar to help brown it up, and also will help soften things up too, because it's tomato based and the acidity in there will break down some of the fibers of the vegetables as well. But our main thing right now is get this liquid out and kind of brown this stuff up to where it will be ready to go for the next application, where we add some more liquids to it. Alright, well, we can see it browning up now, and some of the flavor, the liquid is going out. All this is oil in here, you see, but the mushrooms are starting to get brown, and the onions as well, as you can see here. That's good because that's releasing more flavor into the dish. And now right now we're just going to add about a half a cup of marsala. We're going to let that cook down a little bit and evaporate before we add our next ingredient. Before our liquid is all gone from the marsala, I do want to add some fresh rosemary. Mushrooms are a very savory dish, and rosemary complements it very well. So I'm adding quite a bit because it just goes so well together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in here as well to give it a little more savoriness. Let this cook down a little more. It's thickened up a little bit. That's what I have now. I've taken about a tablespoon of chicken stock into a cup of water and made a nice stock. We're just going to pour this in. And we're just going to reduce this down. Alright, we're getting close to the end here, but I just wanted to point out, you can see these onions here. You can actually see them, and they are part of the dish. They're not so small that all you're getting is the mushrooms and you're losing the onion in there. You can see that it really blends in well with the cut that we did. So I would try to make them stand out a little more than just a fine dice or a brunoise cut. But this is thinning out, this is thickening up very well. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to finish it off. We are going to come back and plate it up. I'm going to take some beautiful pictures of it to put on social media and our timeline, with which I will add some groovy music for this video, and then we will come back and try it out and see what it tastes like, and then say goodbye. Okay, so I have got, there you go, there's a nice look at it there. Smells fantastic. I'm going to throw it on, I'm just going to throw it on a little piece of this crusty bread we got. And then I'm going to take a bite. Okay, there is our lovely mushroom ragout. Now I'm going to take a bite and let you know how this tastes. Mm. 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 I have the dog right here going, where's mine? Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us today. We made a mushroom ragout that was incredible. You can use this on top of polenta, dry bread, pasta. You can put it in pizza. You can put it in an omelet. There's a lot of ways to do this. I just simply put it on some crusty bread and ate it like that just to show you at home what it looked like. But it was a fantastic meal. It doesn't get much better than that. It's got all the flavors in there. If you're patient with cooking it, we did a sweat on the vegetables, excuse me, and then we sauteed it. We added numerous liquids to it and evaporated those out with simmering. There's a lot of cooking techniques involved with this dish that I hope you give it a try. Practice makes perfect. We'll see you next time on It's Only Food. Thanks a lot for showing up today. Make sure you subscribe to the show if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you'd like to see us do next time. And then share this video and this channel with everyone you know. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. Bye-bye.